He's like, yeah, man. Also, I've got a secret.
Oh.
I was like, what? And first of all, terrible trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, got there, and as he was describing it to me, I couldn't help but giggle because he's talking about how bad the weather was and how hot it was. Yeah,
it's like, not hot in Japan.
He was talking about how just terrible the time he had. Like, they were there for, I think he said, like 6 days, and for 2.5 of the days, he just couldn't leave the hotel.
Oh, no.
Because they went out, like, the first day, because they got married and then, like, immediately left.
Yeah.
20 hours total of travel.
Yeah.
In the first 24 hours post married. Lands, immediately has to do like 2 tattoos that he's booked that he didn't think about the time change.
Yeah.
Because he was like, okay, I'll land and then I'll have like a whole day and then I gotta go do those.
No.
And then they got there and he had like 2 hours.
Yeah, the day's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then he had heat stroke.
Oh my god.
They finished the tattoos and he's like, oh yeah, I want to go to this store, and then just had a heat stroke.
God.
So he couldn't leave the hotel for like 2.5 days.
That's terrible.
Like, and then he's like, I got a secret. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got a little secret. And I was like, okay, what is it?
Yeah.
And he's like, look at what I bought. Because I was like, okay, cool. Like, you bought some fucking weird Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just bought a whole car.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just bought a whole fucking car.
Like a K truck or like a Skyline? What are you getting?
Right-hand drive 1999 BMW.
Okay.
30,000 miles.
Oh. Wow.
And I think it's because like everything's so walkable there.
Yeah.
You don't drive a lot. So yeah. And he said it cost him like $3,500 total, including like the shipping and all the forms and all that to get it here.
Hell yeah.
I was like, it sounds like a pretty cool trip, all things considered.
All things considered, yeah.
Like, yeah, you had a terrible time, but you did some cool tattoos. You got a cool tattoo. You got a fucking sweet car.
Yeah.
So I think he said that that's supposed to get delivered either today or tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and start this episode.
Yeah. Welcome to My Neighbor Mothman. I just told you my tattoo artist life story.
Yeah. That's fine. It's the same first name as both of us, so it could have been anyone's story.
Could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody. It's not like anyone from here follows me on Instagram. You can find it.
Welcome to My Neighbor Mothman.
Yeah.
I'm Levi.
I'm Zachary.
We talk about spooky things. We talk about aliens. We talk about magic and Digimon and anime.
We play Valorant.
And Valorant is a game that is still downloaded on this PC.
We played Phasmophobia for the first time last night.
Phasmophobia, yeah, that was good.
God, dude, scared the fuck out of me. I was having a terrible time.
I might look and see if there's any mods. See if there's any fun stuff.
There's gotta be some mods.
That was a fun time though.
Yeah, I'm glad you two were having fun.
Yeah.
That whole time I was scared fucking shitless.
Yeah, I can do horror games if other people are also there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
But if it's like a solo horror game, I'm not gonna play that.
Yeah. Anytime the lights went out, panic sprint for the front door.
Yes, that kept happening where it would just be like, I don't know where Zach is, and then I'd be like, oh, somebody's out at the truck.
Yeah, it's me. It's me because I got so scared.
So yeah, I mean, I'm off this upcoming this week, so I'll probably stream some.
Nice.
So,
and you can watch that at twitch.tv/Skeleton Crew Gaming.
Yeah, early plug there. Let's go ahead and get that in. So today I'm going to talk to you about a story involving the Salem witch trials.
Ooh.
It's been a while since we bounced around a little bit. We've touched on the Salem witch trials before. Yeah. This is a particular story that I picked out because we were watching Drunk History, as you guys seem to do. And this one came up, and I was just like, "Oh wow, that's a fun, terrible story to tell."
Oh, good.
So So Giles Corey was an English farmer, patty thief, and tried murderer who was accused of witchcraft, along with his wife Martha Corey during the Salem witch trials.
Wait, this was a man?
This was a man.
Oh, that's called a wizard.
He's a warlock, actually.
He's actually a warlock.
He was subject. Yeah.
Patty thief.
I'm assuming from like a field.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, they cooking up fucking burgers.
Yeah, burgers. He's stealing the burgers back in 16.
Dude's a fucking hamburglar.
Yeah.
Salem witch trials and then the murder of the hamburglar.
I've never seen a witch and the hamburglar in the same room at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
They had a McDonald's in Salem.
He was subject to pressing as an effort to force him to plead.
They squeezed him?
They squeezed him. They put a board on top of him and put rocks on top of it. For 3 days.
Hey, look, I'm going to be real with you. We just watched SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to get any information out of me having Solo Sikoa powerbomb me. The fuck? Now, had they taken that board and laid a bunch of barbed wire on
see
it,
now, yeah.
and it hit me with a flaming stick with more barbed wire around it, might have gotten some information.
You're on fire for a good 10, 12 seconds?
Yeah, if you're on fire for too long, and then you dump me onto a board, you might get some information out of me, especially if you put my best friend down on that board right next to me and he's convulsing.
Yeah.
You're getting whatever you want. I can't watch my man Terry Funk seize like that. God, I love wrestling.
We've also, as always, have continued our watching of wrestling.
Yeah, we just watched ECW One Night Stand.
And SummerSlam was last night as of recording.
Yeah.
So, how dare you, Dom?
How dare you, Dom? We came so close to Logan Paul actually dying.
Yeah. Gosh. One day.
Finn Balor's doing his own thing.
Yeah. I can't wait for Monday when Carlito's the leader of Judgment Day now.
Oh, fuck.
It's Carlito and JD McDonough.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's sick as fuck.
Everyone else bounced, and he's like, cool, I'm in charge.
Cool day. Rebranding, it's cool day. All right, tell me about this fucking hamburger.
The other thing I saw was none of this happened when R-Truth was in Judgment Day. That's all I'm saying. None of this would happen. Truth is still around.
None of this would happen.
So yeah, died after 3 days of pressing.
Hey, go to him. He no rat.
Because he refused to enter a plea.
Mm-hmm.
His estate passed on to his sons instead of being seized by the local government. So there's some legal thing in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Damn.
So he's believed to have died in the field adjacent to the prison that held him, in which later became Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, which opened in 1801. His exact location in the cemetery is unmarked and unknown. Yeah, but there's a memorial plaque to him in the nearby Charter Street Cemetery.
You think people were stomping on him?
Maybe.
Because 3 days isn't enough to die of dehydration or starving.
Yeah, it just sucks. He's just getting slowly internal bleeding.
Yeah. And look, as bad as it is, if I'm alive in the Salem witch trials and they're like, this dude's a witch, and we've got him under this big board, yeah, I'm probably stopping on it. I'm probably giving it at least one good stop.
He's from Northampton, England. He was the son of Giles and Elizabeth Corey. This got like a whole backstory here for this guy.
Son of Ja Rule?
No. Let's see. So he lived in. It's not certain when he arrived in North America, but there's evidence he was living in Salem Town as early as 1640. He originally lived in Salem Town, but later moved to nearby Salem Village, now Danvers, to work as a farmer. There are quite a few entries in court documents for which he was charged and confessed mainly petty theft. Charges ranging from sleeping on the watch and having his weapon stolen from him while doing so, collecting a canoe load of firewood while on watch, and stealing food, tobacco, knives, and other small items.
This dude's just Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's just kind of he's a little klepto. Just a little bit klepto back.
Hey, and by the way, what a weird way to measure firewood.
Yeah, canoe.
A canoe
of firewood. One hammock of cake, please.
Yeah.
Despite this, he was a landowning farmer in Salem and married 3 times.
Wait, get it wet, dog.
Married his first wife, Margaret, in England. Margaret was the eldest of his mother of his eldest 4 children.
Oh, I thought you were about to say she was the eldest of his 4 children.
No.
I'm so sorry. Don't get it wet, dog.
Martha, Margaret, Deliverance, and Elizabeth. His second wife, Mary Bright, they married in 1664 when he was 53 years old and had a son named John.
And how old was she?
It does not say that. I cannot imagine it was great.
Yeah, I was going to say 1600s, he's 53.
He died of pressing at 81.
Hey, good for him.
So, yeah.
Hey, good for him making it to 81
Yeah.
in the 1600s. That's why he was accused of witchcraft. What the fuck is this dude so old for?
In 1676, Corey was brought on trial and charged with murder in Essex County, Massachusetts, for beating to death one of his indentured farm workers. Mm-hmm.
Hey, good for them for charging him for murder, though.
That's the North right there and doing it to him. Getting him. According to witnesses, he had severely beaten him with a stick after he was allegedly caught stealing apples from Corey's brother-in-law.
Oh, so he's a fucking... Okay, all right, bud.
Yeah, right.
You could steal a canoe full of wood and get off scot. All right, bud.
Yeah. Corey was... Since corporal punishment was permitted against indentured servants, Corey was exempt from the charge of murder and instead was charged with using unreasonable force, for which he was found guilty and fined.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I take back my, solidarity fist with the North.
Corey's neighbor, John Proctor, also accused Corey of the arson of his home. Later, one of Proctor's sons confessed to the fire, so yeah.
John Proctor, big guy in the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
The big guy.
Yes. Neighbor.
Yeah.
These guys are neighbors. At the time of the witch trials, Corey was 80 years old and living with Martha, his last wife there, in the southwest corner of Salem Village, which is now Peabody.
You put some stink on that one.
It's Peabody is written, and the way that word is written really makes my brain have to read it that way. I don't know.
Oh,
There was a There was a what's that cartoon? It was like a comic panel. It was like something Sherman and Mr. Peabody or something.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing. It was just like every time I saw that comic strip, it was just like Peabody. Don't give me that look. Audio listeners, he's giving me that look.
I'm giving that look that I know. I know he's got it.
Martha Corey was arrested for witchcraft on March 19th, 1692. Corey was so swept up by the trials that he initially believed the accusations against his wife until he himself was arrested based on the same charge on the 18th of April, alongside Mary Warren, Abigail Hobbs, and Bridget Bishop. That's Lee's. It came out in the bottom of the dry bag when we were on the river, and I was like, Lee, I think you dropped cigarettes, and he goes, no. And I found one in there. The following day, they were examined by authorities, during which Hobbs accused Giles of being a wizard.
Yes.
Giles denied the accusations and refused to plead guilty or not guilty. He was sentenced to prison and subsequently arraigned.
Now watch this cancer.
September sitting of the court.
He should have cast Guiding Touch.
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
Can you imagine fucking during the witch trials there was just one wizard?
Lightning bolt.
Just fucking fireball incinerates the whole place. Maybe that's why I have in a Roanoke.
Maybe.
Straight wizard.
So they death by pressed him, right? And that's the next bit here, where they put heavy boulders on top of a fucking plank of wood and set it across his body. It took 3 days, and on Drunk History, they were like, his eyes were popping out of his head by the end of the day.
Why would you tell me that?
Yeah, it was grody.
Big rocks, then.
It's commonly told that he's repeatedly requested for more weight, which was dramatized in The Crucible, if you remember doing that in school. No? Man, that's a good one. That's a good one about the Salem witch trials. That's all it is.
I didn't read.
Yeah.
I read To Kill a Mockingbird, and I went, I'm done reading any books you want me to read.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they were like, the Iliad? I was like, put me in normal English.
No, you should have read the Iliad. See, that's the problem, is they want you to read like the modern stuff that is important, but they don't want you to read any of the fucking cool shit that's important. There's some sick ass monsters getting slayed, and they don't want you to read that at all. They hate for you to read that even.
I'm gonna homeschool my kid, and they're only reading about the cool monsters.
Hell yeah, that's all they need to know.
Yeah, my kid's gonna grow up thinking Digimon are real.
Absolutely. God. 3 days later, Corey's wife Martha was hanged after he got pressed. She had a son from a previous marriage that showed up to petition for her loss and damages, resulting in his mother being executed illegally during the witch trials.
Guys, please, my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, her? Kill her.
In 1723, he was awarded 50 pounds.
Of the rocks that killed his dad?
Pretty much. The gruesome and public nature of Corey's death may have caused residents of Salem to rethink their support of the witch trials. He was not absolved of the crime until 1712, and Martha was not absolved from the crime, which was the part that I read. I was like, wait, he gets off, but they're like, oh shit, our bad. Look, but she was a witch.
Yeah. Well, they're like, but he's a boy. No, like, these weren't the wizard trials. Well, I've had to now change my imagery, because I think the first thing I was thinking of with the pressing was like the big piece of plywood, like they crucified Terry Funk and Mick Foley on. But the way you said plank kind of makes more sense.
To give you an idea, in Drunk History, they put a door.
Oh, okay.
On top of them.
So kind of like, all right, okay.
And they're just putting rocks on a door.
I was like, because when you said plank, I was like, oh, like a 2x4. And I was like, he should have just bucked that shit off. But that, it doesn't make sense.
Despite Corey's efforts to protect his estate by refusing to plead, Corwin still attempted to extort money from Corey's heirs after the witch trials. In 1710, Corey's daughter Elizabeth and her husband John Moulton filed a lawsuit seeking damages from Corwin. Her statement to the court read, "After our father's death, the sheriff threatened to seize our father's estate, and for fear that we complied with him and paid him £11 6 shillings in money."
Damn.
Yeah, so they're getting extorted all the way
Hey,
through.
dog, remember when I killed your dad? Give me $11.
We're still going on this tale now, though, because this continues. We're still continuing.
Back. Like,
according to local legend, the apparition of Corey appears and walks his graveyard each time a disaster is about to strike the city. Notably, he was said to have appeared the night before the Great Salem Fire of 1914. The position of sheriff of Essex County was also said to have suffered of the curse of Giles Corey.
Oh, fuck, dude. He's got a curse?
As the holders of that office since Corwin had either died or resigned as a result of heart attack or blood ailments.
Oh, my God.
The curse was said to have been broken when the sheriff's office was moved from Salem to Middleton in 1991.
Jesus. Jesus, that's so recently.
Yeah.
You imagine, like, the guy that got elected in 1990 was like, hey, guys, why don't we just fucking move this thing? Because we keep dying. And they were like, oh, fuck, dude, it's been 200 years. We didn't even fucking think about that.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Fuck, dude. You're so smart.
Yeah, I loved getting to the end there and just being like, and he's a ghost too.
He's a ghost that
tells
fucking,
omens.
It's he's omen, and also he has a curse.
Yeah.
Fuck, dog. I should go to Salem next time I'm up there.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna go in there like I do in Phasmophobia. I'm just gonna start talking some mad shit. I'm not the sheriff. You can't break my heart.
He is in Arthur Miller's The Crucible, which was written in 1953. He's hot-tempered, and he's in, like, they did a movie of it, and he gets crushed with rocks in that too, because they were just like, yeah, this is an important part of that story.
I mean,
and it's like, yeah, that's a violent way to go.
Hey man, for more weight, such a G thing to do. Go ahead, bug it, put some more rocks on there.
There's also a band by the same name that is regarded as falling under the slowcore genre. All these cores.
Goblin core.
All right, let's see.
Fuck is slowcore?
Let's see what else I have in here. I didn't pick a Godzilla this time to talk about, but let's see if there's one. See if there's a good one right here on the top of my random list.
Hey, I'm looking at slowcore or sadcore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait, I know Julian Baker.
I don't know who that is.
That's one of the ones that hangs out with Phoebe Bridgers.
Okay.
That's one of the Boy Genius.
Okay. Did I save the other one that I had open?
That's the only one I know how to do.
Oh, and then this, I don't want to go too in depth on it because I didn't do as much on it as I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But the other one that they talked about on another episode of that was the Circleville letters. Do you know about that? Mm-mm. Okay, I'll go into this one too. We've only been going for like 20 minutes. Since 1976, the small town. I'm reading this off of the Unsolved Mysteries subreddit.
Okay.
User BizBuzz.
Good name.
Since 1976, the small town of Circleville, Ohio, has been plagued by a by a mystery that has yet to be solved. A series of anonymous letters sent to Circleville residents claiming to know their deepest, darkest secrets and threatening to expose them to the town.
Okay.
These letters sent shockwaves throughout the town and ignited a series of events that would result in accusations of murder, adultery, and other bizarre happenings.
Damn, somebody just out there stirring the pot, huh?
Yeah. And this is like quite a bit, so I'm just gonna try to pick out the things that I remember from the story that are interesting. So in March 3rd, 1977, a letter arrived at the Westfall High School addressed to Superintendent Gordon Massey. The letter was handwritten in a distinctive block letter style and accused Massey of having an affair with a married bus driver in Circleville. The writer told Massey to confess his affairs to the school board. The very next day, the writer sent a letter to the Westfall School Board telling them about Massey's affair with one of the drivers. These letters as well were all of the Circleville letters that were postmarked Columbus, Ohio, about 25 miles north of Circleville. The main target of the writer's harassment would turn out to be one of the bus drivers, Mary Giuseppe, who near the start of the letter writers' campaigns of harassment, Mary Giuseppe found a handwritten letter in her mailbox accusing her of having an affair with Gordon Massey. In this first letter, the writer claimed that they had been observing Mary and her children, and had stated everyone concerned had been notified and everything would be over soon.
What the fuck, dog?
At this point, Mary shared the letter with her husband, Ron, but denied she was having an affair.
Makes sense.
A short time later in March, Ron received another letter. This one telling him that he needed to admit that his wife was having an affair with Massey.
I thought the letter was going to be that he was also having an affair with him. I was going to be like, can you imagine the shock on his face when his wife comes home? He's like, I got a letter that I'm fucking the principal. And she's like, that's crazy.
Right, no, what?
Also, I always wondered what bus drivers did during the day.
Yeah.
Fucking the principal.
Fucking the principal. Makes sense.
Got it.
The letter...
What do they do during the day, Levi?
The letter told him to inform the Westfall School Board of the affair, if not, and said that if he did not, he would be killed.
Oh.
Now we are ramping up.
Hell yeah, dog. I was going to say, there's got to be some kind of stakes other than just, I'm going to tell people you guys are fucking.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's the 70s. Well, it's the 70s.
It's the 70s.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Dazed and Confused is happening.
2 weeks later, another letter was sent to the Giuseppes. Once again, the writer addressed Ron, telling him, "You've had 2 weeks and done nothing. Make Mary admit the truth and inform the school board." At this point, both Mary and Ron had received letters threatening them and their children if Mary did not admit to the affair. In addition to the letters, there were also phone calls to their home and offensive signs posted along Mary's bus route. Many of these signs made offensive/explicit references to their younger daughter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn. You think it's just the principal's wife?
From the beginning, Mary suspected the letters were being sent by David Longberry, a fellow bus driver who had expressed romantic interest in her and whom she had rejected.
It's all starting.
Determined to get to the bottom of who was writing the letters, Mary and Ron reached out to Ron's sister, Karen Freshour, and her husband, Paul. Paul's sister said his sister was also told about the letters, but this time no one else knew about them. Since Mary believed David Longberry was the writer, the five of them decided to write their own letter to David, telling him they knew that he was the writer. The letters stopped for a few weeks, so they thought they had identified the writer and put stop to the letters. But a few weeks later, the letters resumed, and a tragedy occurred.
David Longberry is dead.
On August 19th, 1977, Ron received a phone call at his home that enraged him. He told his daughter that the call was from the letter writer, and he got his gun and ran to his truck and drove off into the night. Ron Giuseppe's truck was found at 10:35 p.m. that night, crashed into a tree. Ron's body inside, he had died of internal injuries.
Like from the accident?
Like from the accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, like if this is a movie,
yeah,
David Longberry is strung up somewhere.
Oh, right. Many residents don't think it was an accident; it was a murder, right? Because we got all these, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Although, if someone's been writing me a letter for months talking about how my wife's sleeping with somebody,
yeah,
that probably taken a toll on him.
Yeah,
could have played chicken with that tree and just lost.
That could have. So let's see where I was here. The letter writer had threatened Ron's life if he did not expose his wife's affair. In particular, Ron's brother-in-law, Paul Freshour, believed that Ron had been murdered after uncovering the identity of the letter writer.
Okay.
There were essentially two pieces of evidence that support the murder theory. Ron was not a heavy drinker, but his blood alcohol level was 1.5 times the legal limit. And Ron's
that's pretty fucking high.
And Ron's gun was found under his body, and it appeared that one round had been fired sometime between when he left his house and when his body was found.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty indicative of a murder, I'd say.
Yeah. Originally, foul play was suspected, And there was even a person of interest in the case who was interviewed and given polygraph test, which they passed.
It makes sense. If they're the letter writer, they're a psychopath.
Let's see if there's anything else. They changed after the alcohol test, they changed it to drunk driving was the cause of the accident. Because, I mean, technically, yeah, for sure, that's part of it.
Yeah. Because let's assume it's 0.8 like it is now.
Yeah.
What's that, 1.2? Because you said it was 1.5 times the legal limit?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.2 is pretty heavy, dog.
Mm-hmm. For a non-drinker.
A little bit of Hennessy. He said, all right, cool. All right, cool letter, dork. Anyways, Henny boys.
Now, that was the sheriff that moved it to drunk driving. Apparently, though, Sheriff Radcliffe had motivation for covering up a possible murder, as he was running for president of the National Sheriff's Association for town.
Okay.
And a town plagued by not only an unhinged letter writer, but one who had turned to murder wouldn't be a good look for the president of the organization.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
The letter writer was also frustrated by the lack of an investigation into the case and wrote letters claiming that Sheriff Radcliffe was covering up the truth of Ron's death. Yes. Yes.
I killed that dude, and you guys aren't.
You're covering it up.
Hey, I did it.
Letters also accused Dr. Carroll, the coroner, of sexual abuse of young children. Because this person is just watching everyone, apparently, at all times. After Ron's death, the harassment continued, with letters sent to not just Mary, but citizens around town, to the newspaper, to local businesses, schools, basically everyone in Circleville. Other residents were scared since the letter writer seemed completely unhinged and knew details of their lives that a stranger should have no way of knowing. Meanwhile, Paul Freshour continued to insist that Ron had been murdered, even filed a report requesting the FBI investigate it. Although Mary had always denied having an affair with Gordon Massey while her husband was alive, after his death, she and Massey did begin a romantic relationship. At this point, the threats against her became more vicious, including explicit threats against Mary's daughter.
You know what? This might be... How old was the daughter?
I don't know.
This might be a dude that the daughter rejected.
Yeah.
And this might be a...
12. Daughter's 12.
This might be a... Well...
In 83. This was... What year was this?
77, I think he said.
Yeah.
Should have been 8.
Yeah.
Now, worst case scenario. This is like a 15, 16-year-old that got rejected by an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And went, cool, I'm going to ruin your fucking life. Because who else has got the time to notice all this?
So, I got here, this next section is called A Break in the Case.
Oh.
On February 7th, 1983, Mary was driving her school bus near 5 Points Pike when she saw a sign posted along a nearby fence. The sign was handwritten and included an obscene message about Mary's 12-year-old daughter. Mary pulled over and attempted to remove the sign, but when she pulled on it, she saw it was attached to a box with some twine. Mary decided to take the box home, and when she opened it, she found a gun inside. Mary brought the box to the sheriff's office, who determined that the box was booby-trapped and had been designed to fire the gun when the sign was pulled down. It's like the jackass slap hand, but a lot less fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fucked.
But it didn't trigger when she pulled the sign down for some reason.
You got a fucking Rube Goldberg murder machine.
This booby trap became the first real break in the case, as the sheriff's office was able to identify the gun used in the booby trap as belonging to Paul Freshour. Paul admitted the gun was his, but it claimed it had gone missing weeks before and denied setting the trap. He had also not reported the gun missing prior to this, so there was no evidence to support his claim. The sheriff's office then told Paul to copy one of the Circleville letters and try to emulate the handwriting on the paper. Usually the suspect is asked to write a sample of his own handwriting, not attempt to copy handwriting. In addition to the handwriting test, Paul failed polygraph test, and his ex-wife Karen told the police he was behind the letters to Mary. His wife went, "Nah, he's doing it."
And this was Ron's brother, or Mary's brother.
Yeah. Fuck.
Because the motive is
it's all that's the problem, is there's too many people involved in this. To Ron's sister Karen is Ron's sister. Paul is her husband. Paul is not related to
Mary.
No.
Maybe Paul trying to jump those bones.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see, where else? But as with everything in this case, there's more to the story.
Yeah.
Karen and Paul had recently gone through a nasty divorce after Karen cheated on Paul.
With the principal.
Paul was awarded custody of their 3 children, and Karen ended up living in a trailer in Mary Giuseppe's backyard. So Karen certainly seems to have motive for framing Paul. She would also have access to his gun. And despite telling police that she had access to the letters, including letters Paul had written and not mailed, she could not produce any of these, telling police that she had disposed of them all. That was an ad popping up. Oh. Yeah, it was an ad break thing.
What the fuck,
As for additional evidence connecting Paul to the booby trap, there was none. Paul had an alibi for the day the booby trap was set. He was at home because there was work being done on his house. Paul also fully cooperated with law enforcement and was only connected to the letters based on accusation from his ex-wife after a contentious divorce. Using Karen's testimony, the copied letters, the failed polygraph, and the fact that the gun in the box was registered to Paul, he was charged with attempted murder of Mary Giuseppe. Paul was never charged with sending any of the letters, but they were used as evidence against him in his trial. There are also no physical evidence connecting Paul to either of the letters or the booby trap, but the convicted attempt of murder and sentence. He was convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to 7 to 25 years in prison.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Case closed, right? We got him.
Fuck you, there's more?
We got him. No, nothing could possibly happen now.
Let me guess. More letters.
More letters.
Yes.
At this point, it seemed the mystery of the Circleville writer had been solved. The only problem with this theory, the letters continued even after he was imprisoned. Even Paul himself received letters. This one stating, now when are you going to believe you aren't where you're going? What is this? Hang on. Now when are you going to believe you aren't going to get out of there? I told you 2 years ago, when we set them up, they stay set up. You don't listen at all. So that reads to me as Paul and this person were working together.
Yeah.
And they have a history of getting people put away. Yeah. It's possible for people in prison to write and send letters, so the prison took numerous measures to ensure Paul could not write these letters while in prison. These measures including putting Paul in solitary confinement where he had no access to pen, paper, or mail, and yet letters continued to be sent during this time. Repeated sweeps of his cells, strip searches, all his incoming and outgoing mail was examined. Eventually, the prison warden wrote a letter to Paul's ex-wife, Karen, telling her that it was impossible that Paul was writing these letters from his cell.
So now the warden's sending letters. What's the principal doing during all this?
Right? He fucking bounced. He's like, I get to go be principal.
He's boning Mary.
Yeah, he's boning me. Yeah, yeah, that's what he's doing. Additionally, Paul Freshour was imprisoned in Lima, Ohio, but all the letters dating back to the first letter sent in 1976 were postmarked in Columbus, Ohio. So it's not clear how letters sent from prison in Lima to Circleville would be postmarked to Columbus anyway.
Yeah.
In 1993, the television show Unsolved Mysteries was set to air a segment on the Circleville letter writer. Prior to the filming of this episode, the producers of the show received a postcard that said, "Forget Circleville, Ohio. If you come to Ohio, you El Sickos will pay. The Circleville writer." The producers were undeterred, and the segment was filmed and broadcast, including an interview with Paul Freshour, who had just been released on parole. This postcard was one of the final communications sent from the Circleville letter writer. And no letters were sent after 1994.
What the fuck, dude?
So, yeah. From 76 to 94, this is going on in this town.
That's fucking crazy.
Paul was just a little extra thing here. He was released in 1994 after spending 10 years in prison. He maintained his innocence until his death in 2012 at the age of 70. And apparently there is a website dedicated to professing his innocence. That is maintained still. So in August 2021, the CBS show 48 Hours aired an episode that they claimed to definitively identify the Circleville letter writer. CBS aired a document examiner, Beverly East, who compared the Circleville letters to Paul's known handwriting. She found numerous links between the letter writer's handwriting and Paul's handwriting, especially in the formation of his numbers. They said that there were patterns in the anonymous letter that did not match Paul's handwriting, but found more than 100 quirks of Paul's handwriting that did match. However, former FBI profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole does not believe that there's enough evidence to state that Paul was the letter writer. In particular, O'Toole points to letters that were sent while Paul was in prison, since it was physically impossible for that to have happened. It should be noted that there were not just a couple letters during his 10 years of Paul's incarceration, but there were literally hundreds of letters sent to people all over central Ohio. O'Toole also believes that the letters were written by a female writer and that the letter writer was not well educated.
Well, yeah, they're in Ohio.
Paul Freshour had 3 college degrees, including a master's degree. They got some additional information here as we wrap up here. Dr. Ray Carroll, the county coroner who claimed that Ron Giuseppe died of blood alcohol of 1.5 times the legal limit, who was accused by the Circleville letter of writer of child molestation, was charged with 12 counts of gross immorality, sex crimes, corruption of a minor, pornography, obscenity, and indecent exposure in December of 1993. David Longberry, the school bus driver Mary Giuseppe originally suspected of writing the letters back in 1977. I don't want to say that. An 11-year-old in 99. He went on the run and is still currently a fugitive.
All my guns pointing towards David.
Letter also made accusations against Roger Klein, the prosecutor who helped convict Paul Freshour But those are hard to confirm. Specifically, he was accused of having an affair with a school teacher and then having her murdered when he found out she was pregnant.
What the fuck? What's going on in this town?
Yeah. But despite some random couple on Ohio confirming the story and on a TV news station, there is no evidence of this. And Klein retired after being a court judge in 2013. Yeah, so this is a big fuck mess, is what happened here.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows who's involved. Everyone seems to have way more information than they should.
Yeah.
I do think that the thing that we came up with when we actually watched this episode was, well, the writer was probably a kid, is what I think. Because she overheard the bus driver talking about her affair. And then you're just like, okay, well, I have dirt on everyone's parents.
Yeah.
I can just fuck with the town. And then it just kind of escalated, it seems.
Yeah, but the called shot on the coroner's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. They just went, it's coroner. They're weird. I don't
Dr. Disrespect.
I don't trust it. You hang out with dead bodies all day? I don't know, something about that. Something's wrong with you.
Something's...
Yeah, that's all I have for
the fuck, dude.
For Mothman today. I got us a little bit of mystery and a little bit of witching.
See, here's the problem. That happens to me, I die.
Yeah.
Based off how I react to like spam and scam people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I die. Oh, I know that you've been cheating on your wife with the principal of the school. You better watch your fucking back, dude. I'm coming for you. No, I'm coming for you. You slept with the principal. No, I'm coming for you. Yeah, and then I die.
Yeah. Just get real rude with the person who... It's like, why'd you text me at 8 a.m.? Fuck off.
Yeah, dude, why are you texting me at 7 p.m. asking if this is Laura?
Yeah, mine was like for like Danny or something.
Yeah. Let me see.
Guys, I'll pull up our analytics here as we wrap up. Oh, we've got a change in the way that they're showing these numbers now, slightly.
I did forget to tell you guys the final response I got from that number last night.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did say in all caps, "I'm coming for you." And they said, "I'm sorry. It looks like I saved the wrong number for my assistant. I hope you didn't mind this." With like a frowny face.
Oh my gosh. I'm coming for you. Nothing's gonna stop me from getting what I want.
You can't say that on here.
Self-motivation. That's all.
All right, tell me what.
Yeah, stupid. You're gonna be upset about this because UK is still at 4%. But the thing that changed is it's no longer sub 1% on here. I can see decimal points. China 0.09%. China's our next biggest. China, then Germany.
So I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, when we were kids, I'm gonna dig a hole straight to China.
Yeah, easy thing to think. I was in that same boat.
Well, no, I didn't think it.
Bugs Bunny did it.
Well, people just, I guess Bugs Bunny did it. Like, I remember hearing it, but I was never like, yeah, that, well, like, by the time someone said it to me, I went, no, there's a whole bunch of stuff down in there. But then I was thinking about it on my drive here. That's not how the globe works.
Yeah.
It's not how the globe works at all. We're probably in the middle of the fucking Indian Ocean or something.
Yeah, there's a website or something you can go to that'll tell you what your sister city is across
That's pretty cool.
directly across the world.
Ours is probably Atlantis.
Yes, probably.
I want to know.
It's some fucking bones at the bottom of the ocean is all that it is.
Yeah, that's all I had on that.
Okay.
You reminded me of it when you brought up China.
No worries. Apple Podcasts is our primary, followed by the Alexa and Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah, no, nothing change-wise. We've gone back to a more reasonable split on the gender section 48.5% male, 43.5% female, 5.4% non-binary, 2.6% not specified.
Interesting.
But that will do it for me for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to check out boardnerds.store for merchandise around My Neighbor Mothman themes. We've got... You can watch the show live on the Skeleton Crew Gaming Twitch channel. You can watch the individual episodes broken out on the Board Nerds YouTube channel. You can watch the VODs on the Skeleton Crew Gaming YouTube channel. Big Brown Couch exists. We played Phasmophobia. Might just upload that raw 100 hour, 20 minutes.
Right in the middle of the fucking
Right in the middle of the ocean, yeah. We'll have to partner up with some sea slugs at the bottom of the ocean over there.
Fuck that, I'm not going out there.
What else do we do? Social media. You can find me at SkellyBoyVi. You can find the podcast at Mothman Podcast. You can
Not find me.
You
You can follow Corley, who
Corley.
did our artwork on X at Lychan_.
Mm-hmm.
Pay your artists. Tip your tattoo artists, your piercers, your waitresses.
Oh yeah, you just take yours out, right?
Yeah. So apparently when I tore one, my body went, oh well, okay, let's fix that. And what's this other thing that's in there that doesn't belong?
Yeah,
we got to get that fucking thing out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the back of my left ear is all kind of fucking jumbled right now.
Oof.
That being said, this could be a little gross for people. Woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Back of my right ear, biggest scab I've ever had. Well, not even really a scab, like dried blood.
Yeah.
And it just came off in like a sheet. And I was like, oh. I was like, I feel so clean.
Mm-mm.
And I was able to sleep on my side without having to trip.
Oh yeah.
Fucking yeah, dude.
I think that's the biggest thing that's slowing me down from getting my ears pierced is because like I sleep on my side.
So the way I've had to sleep is like this, like with my thumb here to try and like pull it up a little bit. And now the problem with that is that I wake up every morning and my hand hurts and the side of my fucking face hurts.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to. I'll sleep in this chair and I'll just do right like that.
That's the fun thing that I'm dreading about my next tattoo because it's on the back of my triceps.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to sleep? I'm like,
it'd be fun.
Mm-mm.
Yay!
I'm not gonna have fun.
No,
I'm not gonna be able to wear hoodies to the gym for a little bit.
I got one on my back and I was just like, oh, I'll sleep on my stomach anyway. This is fine.
Ugh. I can't wrap my brain around how to sleep on my fucking stomach.
You sleep like Master Chief when you die. You put one leg up and yeah.
It's not happening. All right, welcome. Fucking thanks
for listening.
I almost said welcome.
Welcome to the next episode.
Welcome to the next episode.
All right, I'm gonna hit the button and hopefully I can just hit it again and it'll start recording.
Maybe. There's the stop.
Okay.
Occur. No, get fucked.
It didn't. It just didn't.
Get
Why?
fucked.
Why do you do this to me, Streamlabs?
Get fucked.
All right, I'll close it and open it back up. I'll close it and open it back up.
Excuse me.
Piece of shit.